to my garden. It is the beginning of spring, the time when the garden slowly awakens before bursting into life. It is one of my favorite seasons. The daffodils are the stars of the garden at the moment. At the back of my garden, near the wooden bench, I have a daffodil variety named Replete, and it is absolutely stunning. I love the double flower petals with a splash of salmon. As I mentioned before, the tulips aren't the color that I was hoping for, but I must admit they look absolutely stunning. They have very large flowers on short sturdy stems that can cope with a bit of wind. The Ice King is looking at its best at the moment, when the flowers are slowly fading from yellow to a creamy white. I absolutely adore this flower and I will definitely grow them again next year. I will try to keep the bulbs, but with more special bulbs it is in my experience that they won't flower next year. Same goes for tulips, so for the terracotta pots I will buy new bulbs. The hellebores are still flowering and match the color of the fritillaries that soon start to flower. Although the hellebores are still looking fantastic in the terracotta pot, it is better for the plant to be planted out into the garden. And I found the right spot for them at the back of my garden, just in front of the hydrangeas that provide them with shade during summer. Hellebores are prone to fungal diseases, so be careful not to plant them too deep, as the crown might rot. This plant is quite root bound, so I'm loosening the roots so that it is easier for them to grow out into the soil. Then push the soil around the plant and gently firm it in. And finally I give them a good watering. Now that the hellebores are planted, it gives me the opportunity to fill the pot with another plant, and I've chosen another daffodil. This one is called Manly, a double yellow variety that flowers mid-April, giving me a continuous flow of spring flowers during the season. That is why I grow my plants into plastic containers and not directly into the terracotta pot. I can easily swap the plants when they are finished flowering without disturbing the roots. It is perfect for a small garden. Now it is the time of the year to start planting dahlia tubers into containers. I use a mix of multi-purpose potting compost with sharp sand. As they will only briefly grow into the pots, there is no need to give them a large pot. Planting is very easy. Fill the pot with soil. Place the tuber onto the soil and fill with compost, making sure that the stem is just visible above the soil. Give it a shake to get the soil to settle between the tubers. And label the pot. This one already started sprouting, so I have to be very careful not to damage it. I highly recommend growing dahlias and annuals like cosmos if you have a small garden. It gives you so much color and pleasure that simply isn't possible with perennials in a small space. Last year was the first time that I grew dahlias, and I was thrilled with the result. They start flowering and keep on flowering when most of my perennials have finished flowering. Combined with annuals like cosmos, it gives a very soft and natural look. Depending on your climate, you can also plant them directly into the garden when there is no risk of frost anymore. But here in the Netherlands there is still a chance, so I grow them into containers so that I can protect them. I will plant these into the garden mid-May. Finally, I place all my dahlias in a polytunnel to protect them from the rain, as they hate sitting in wet soil. I only water them once and start watering again when the leaves appear. I will cover them with fleece when frost is forecasted. Another tulip started flowering. This one is called Salmon Impression. I like the color, but I will not grow it again, as it grows very leggy and starts flopping easily. It is always rewarding to try out new plants, bulbs and seeds. Some are keepers and some aren't, but that is what makes it so exciting. Many of us have such busy lives, me included. Changing my career, building a life as a wildlife photographer, and having a gardening and wildlife YouTube channel at the same time can be a bit too much and overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes you just have to slow down and enjoy the garden with a cup of tea, soaking all the colors of spring and the sounds of the birds. Gardening helps me a lot to stay grounded and reconnect with nature, just by simply being outside and getting my hands into the soil. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next video there will be more spring bulbs in flower and I can't wait to show them with you. Thank you ever so much for watching and please subscribe to this channel for more videos. See you next time.